Special Agent Fowler, please come in.
What's Private Daly doing here with that camera?
He will be making a record of today's session.
Soldier, too close. Sorry I didn't dress for the occasion.
Formality won't be any more necessary than usual, Bill. But I do need to inform you that our higher-ups are on the warpath.
They want answers regarding recent events.
Perhaps we should begin with the demise of Optimus Prime.
I thought we straightened all this out. Prime is alive and well.
That's difficult for our superiors to accept, without the benefit of seeing Optimus and the alleged imposter.
Side by side, that didn't seem to be the wisest option at the time. The Sky Jockeys were under direct orders to destroy any and all Autobots on sight.
We were in a heightened state of security.
Let's consider the positives. We now possess greater intel regarding Mech, particularly their leader, Silas, the stage name of one Colonel Leland Bishop, ex-Special Tactics.
The architect of Project Damocles.
Satellites in orbit firing laser beams at any target on Earth. Long since mothballed, and the primary reason for Bishop's discharge. He had other wild ideas, which he practiced with even greater abandon once he went rogue.
And still no sign of his remains.
Of greater concern, Mech agents like Silas might also be Special Tactics.
As in currently enlisted.
One obvious motive for hiding their faces. I would urge a thorough investigation and leave bigger threats to metal hands more capable than our own.
Because you've been allowed to operate at such deeply classified levels, perhaps you could provide some background.
Our transforming visitors are autonomous robotic organisms from the planet Cybertron. They were fighting a war.
Foremost, over control of our world supply of Energon, the fuel and lifeblood of all Autobots and Decepticons alike. Do you recall the period late in the war, when both sides began hiding their Energon spoils off-world?
Of course. It's the reason Energon deposits exist on planets such as this one.
It is also the reason battles came to be waged on planets such as this one.
These battles over Energon and its dark counterpart continue to this day.
And you know this for certain.
I've seen more than enough to make me a believer. But I rely upon field reports from Team Prime, which I, in turn, share with you.
Skip ahead, if you would, to the history of your involvement, Agent Fowler.
As you know, I wasn't overjoyed with what I assumed was going to be a bot-sitting assignment. Prime! Wait, don't tell me. He's out pancaking a mini-mall, but its occupational hazards turn out to be surprisingly severe.
Bring the prod.
And by now, the bots have saved my bacon more times than I can count. Of course, I've returned the favor a time or two. Anytime, fella. Ground floor's coming fast. Sometimes exercising my authority, the girl comes with me. Sometimes relying upon quick thinking. We were just calibrating the subsystems and we had a surge. But it's fine now. How are you? And I've made a few mistakes. Not again! Not this again!
If you would, Agent Fowler, provide a roll call.
So we'll know who's who in the event another bot snaps?
Something like that.
Well, there's...
Bulkhead?
Are you a car? I bet you're a truck. A monster truck. Do you like heavy metal? How much do you weigh? Ever use a wrecking ball for a punching bag?
Look, Miko, before I became a warrior, I was a laborer. Construction. I can build stuff, I can break stuff. and that's it.
Of course, Bigfoot and I don't always see eye to eye.
Don't use that phone. It's out of order.
He may not be the most agile bot.
Don't look down.
And he's the first to admit he's no rocket scientist.
Come on, Doc. There's nothing up there to scan. Switch it back. I want to see the hoedown showdown.
But his brute strength is invaluable. Thankfully, the science angle is more than covered by Ratchet. The doc can be a little tightly wound.
Without my supervision? You want them to be right, don't you?
Control freak.
But he brings his A-game when the situation calls for it.
It's all right. I'm an emergency vehicle.
Then there's RC.
The motorcycle?
Don't be fooled by the smaller footprint. She leaves a mark. Bumblebee's the team scout. But the warrior in training seems pretty accomplished if you ask me. RC may be about a few words, but Bumblebee doesn't use any that we can understand.
It wants us to get in.
No, just me.
How do you know that?
It said so.
Turns out, it's with good reason. During the war for Cybertron, the poor kid got his voice box torn out by Megatron.
So the Autobots aren't quite the indestructible war machines we'd hoped.
Don't misunderstand. They can take serious punishment. But they do have their vulnerabilities.
Did you just scream like a little girl?
No. Maybe.
This may not be the finish that we had planned, but if this is indeed the end, if we are to become one with the Allspark.
No. Cliff Jumper's life signal just went offline.
If Cliff's gone, standing around here sulking won't bring him back.
We learned that the hard way when we lost Cliff Jumper.
And for the record, Cliff Jumper was the last Autobot casualty?
I told you, the lifeless Autobot you have in storage isn't Prime. It's a knockoff.
We have only your word to go on, without any trace of Silas or the alleged technology Mech utilized to control said knockoff.
A clean scrub is Mech's MO. You and I both know it.
Your last debriefing indicated that Optimus Prime had joined the Decepticons.
Not willfully. Prime had amnesia. I know I was clear on that.
But you can see where outside observers might connect the dots to the recent attack on our base. Bill, the 5 stars have grown nervous that we've been placing our trust in beings who could so easily inflict harm if they chose to turn on us. That's why I've been asked to determine whether I should bring you before a tribunal.
Tribunal? They could shut down our operation. Put me in jail. General Bryce, Prime is no loose cannon. He's anything but. The bots may be big, but they watch where they step. Heck, even the kids.
Kids?
That's what we call our in-house support team.
I wasn't aware you were utilizing any of our resources other than yourself.
They're not enlisted.
You've involved civilians in a classified operation?
Highly accomplished civilians who contribute specialized expertise in computer science, medicine, communications.
I love breaking stuff. Boom, boom, boom. Twisted. Bring the hurt. Nerd alert. Duh. Zombie! Smackdown in outer space. That was cool.
So they know how to take orders.
You could say that.
Welcome to KO Drive-In, where every patty's a knockout. May I take your order?
But what they lack in military discipline, they more than make up for with outside-the-box problem solving.
Nothing.
Gee, imagine that. The fourth dimension has lousy cell phone reception.
Wait, guys, the phone rang. We're getting a signal.
Maybe the Autobots can't see or hear us because we're moving at hyperspeed or something.
Their courage is to be admired.
Hold them still!
They've proven time and again that they're willing to put their lives on the line for their country and their planet.
So your civilians have made enemy contact.
I never forget a face, even that of a human.
You double-cross anyone, mine is the face you'll never forget. Never!
They've pretty much seen it all.
Miko, look away!
But...
Turn your head away!